May we please have your attention? Welcome.
On behalf of the incredible board and my colleagues at Volunteer New York, welcome to the 40th Annual Volunteer Spirit Awards, this year's presentation by Con Edison. I'm Elisa Keston, Executive Director. Every year, we pause to celebrate volunteerism in a very big way. In fact, this is by far the largest, most eagerly awaited volunteer recognition event in Westchester, Rockland, and Putnam counties, the lower Hudson Valley region. The nominations process begins in the fall when nonprofits make their cases for unbelievable volunteers considered across 6 categories. Every judge says their volunteer task is so hard because every candidate is so deserving. But when the selections are made, it is cause for celebration during April, Global Volunteer Month. And hundreds of supporters, more than 600, pack into a room for a sold-out morning at the Westchester Marriott of inspiration with one more special award, Volunteer New York's own Legacy Award, the icing on the cake. Right now, our region, our state, our country, our world needs this event. We need to come together to embrace the powerful good that volunteers add. So rather than cancel this event, we decided to build the biggest possible virtual audience to celebrate together. So if you are at home, grab the kids and teens. If you are alone, now you aren't. If you're working remotely, take a lunch break. We must publicly raise up these honorees, and we must celebrate the connection volunteerism provides. And we must offer you the chance to take positive action. This global pandemic has linked us together in a way none of us asked for. It's a worldwide disaster that has one characteristic that is true of all disasters. People reach out their hands to help one another, and artificial lines on a map never get in the way. People want to do something, who always want to do something, have already asked, how can I help in a safe way? For 70 years, Volunteer New York has been the ultimate connecting organization in our region, serving as the bridge between volunteer needs of local nonprofits and people of all ages and stages in life who are eager to help, especially in support of those among us who are most vulnerable. And if you are watching from outside our region, no worries. The resources of the Points of Light global community are probably right outside your door. We'll show you how to connect. It has never been truer that when you volunteer, you get as much as you give. We may need to adhere to healthy distancing, but we can touch each other's hearts in any number of ways. Right now, volunteers are handing out grab-and-go bags of food, creating phone chains for regular check-ins with homebound seniors, completing online volunteer orientations with the American Red Cross, facilitating online classes to engage seniors and students, creating cheerful cards and celebration boxes for veterans in hospitals, contributing to donation drives for essentials like food and diapers. And we have activated a virtual volunteer center to fulfill these needs and more. The definition of a volunteer is to freely take part. This year's special live broadcast of the 40th Annual Volunteer Spirit Awards is dedicated to all of the volunteers out there, the ones freely taking part despite uncertainties to keep the gears of our community turning through the toughest times. This video will show you the power of volunteerism every day. Let's start the show.
So we're going to put out an executive order today, New York State on pause, policies that assure uniform safety for everyone. Why? Because what I do will affect you, and what you do will affect me. Talk about community and interconnection and interdependence. This is the very realistic embodiment of that.
There was a wise rabbi once said, "If I am I because you are you, and you are you because I am I, then I am not I and you are not you." In other words, we are not separate. We define each other. We're all backs and fronts to each other.
It's stronger here if you volunteer. It's stronger here if you volunteer. It's stronger here if you volunteer. It's stronger here if you volunteer.
When I was a boy and I would hear about something scary, somebody getting badly hurt or something like that, I'd ask my parents or my grandparents about it, and they would usually tell me how they felt about it. In fact, my mother would try to find out who was helping the person who got hurt. Always look for the people who are helping, she'd tell us. You'll always find somebody who's trying to help.
So many businesses support the mission of Volunteer New York and partner with us to engage their employees and promote important programs. Con Edison is a perfect example. Not only does the company have a deep commitment to employee community engagement and joins us at this celebration year after year, but Con Edison was also a key contributor to the genesis of the virtual volunteer center that is active today. We are so fortunate to have Con Edison as the key presenter for this entire event. Let's learn more about Con Edison's actions through this video.
Hi, I'm Ulysses, volunteer manager, and I'm excited because it's April, National Volunteer Month, the month where we thank volunteers for all the hard work they do throughout the year. 2019 was a great year full of Con Edison-sponsored volunteer events. Employees, retirees, and their families contributed hundreds of hours of their time. Many of the organizations we serve rely on volunteers to help them do what they do best, serve our communities.
This is a kind of a unique volunteer opportunity. You know, the efforts that we put in now, almost winter, right? We'll see the fruits of our efforts in the spring. Nonprofits such as the Queens Botanical Gardens need the volunteer help. They can't do it all on their own. It's also an opportunity for our employees to give back to organizations that do need the volunteer support. To plant gardens such as these, and as well as other opportunities.
I've always actually wanted to volunteer, so this makes me really happy to help out the community.
Believe me, it's a very good feeling to be able to help. It's a good feeling that we are giving back to the community.
Got to spend time with my dad and some of his co-workers and get to learn what my dad does at his work. It was really fun.
Thanks again to all volunteers of the Power of Giving volunteer program for helping our communities. To find out more about volunteer opportunities, visit the Power of Giving on Connor.
Wherever you are watching, on behalf of everyone at Con Edison, we sincerely hope you and your family are safe and well through this crisis. We appreciate the dedication of our skilled workforce on the front lines, ensuring the energy demands of our neighborhoods and businesses are met. Today, we are all one family. We are in this together, doing our part. Con Edison is strongly committed to supporting local nonprofits. Through our Power of Giving program, we encourage opportunities for Con Edison employees and their families to donate time and resources right where they work and live. Last year, that amounted to over 7,000 hours of local volunteer service. Congratulations to the 2020 Volunteer Spirit Award winners. Each year, I look forward to joining the hundreds of you who traditionally gather to applaud and cheer honorees like those you are about to meet. Each of them have gone above and beyond in their service to others. And I bet they would all say that everyone tuning in today can make a similar difference. I would like to offer a special congratulation to the Gollin family, recipients of Volunteer New York's Legacy Award. As always, count on Volunteer New York. They are ready to respond to our community's needs. Con Edison is proud to support their original concept for an online resource to gather and direct volunteers quickly in times of disaster. Volunteer New York's Virtual Volunteer Center is a result of that thoughtful planning. I hope you will visit their website for this public resource and be inspired to take action. Enjoy the program.
Thank you, Jane. We are so grateful for the unwavering business partners like you and all our amazing corporate champions and the special sponsors for this event. Instead of displaying their banners around a ballroom, you will see logos on screens, and you'll have access to our online souvenir journal on our awards website. Take a look at it, read the congratulatory ads, and the detailed biographies of each honoree. Volunteer New York is also fortunate to have outstanding partners throughout all levels of government. Many elected officials usually join us in person. I hope they are part of today's audience and will send a special social media shout out. We're pleased to be joined now by Westchester County Executive George Latimer, who is a longtime supporter of our work.
I wouldn't miss this event in person or virtually, and I'm delighted to bring greetings from Westchester County. We are thankful to the entire Volunteer New York team for their quick response to COVID-19. Within 48 hours, Volunteer New York mobilized a virtual volunteer center to act as a hub for all nonprofits to raise awareness and to list vital needs to help the most vulnerable in our region. This is especially important for both those who want to serve and those who need their help. What Volunteer New York has done these past few weeks is truly remarkable, and we know there will be more opportunities to help one another in the weeks to come. This is a reminder of how lucky the entire Lower Hudson Valley area is to have this organization right here, capable of such response and leadership. Congratulations to this year's Volunteer Spirit Award winners and to the Gollins, the first family to receive Volunteer New York's Legacy Award.
Thanks for your leadership, George. Be well. A few more things to point out about this year's very special virtual event. You can leave messages of congratulations as you watch this presentation. They are like virtual claps for our honorees. They will love it and use hashtag Vsatogether. At times during the program, you will see names and messages from donors on the screen. To anyone who has already contributed to this event, thank you. Your tax-deductible donation is keeping us going. Your name will appear on screen, and we hope others will be added as they watch. This is one kind of thermometer we wouldn't mind seeing rise to the top. By texting the letters VSA, a space, then the amount you'd like to pledge, a space, then your name to 970-840-9000, you can support our mission and the ongoing operation of our virtual volunteer center throughout this crisis and ensure our resources are there for our community year-round. If you'd like to remain anonymous, simply send the text without your name. Now, it is my pleasure to welcome the board chair of Volunteer New York, Valerie Mason Cunningham, whose energy will jump right into the room with you.
Today is a great day by choice. My special shout out is to my fellow Leadership Westchester grads, just one of the outstanding signature programs of Volunteer New York. This year, I can't hear you roar in the room, but send a social media shout out so we know exactly where you are. I represent the Leadership Westchester class of 2018, so I'm giving a shout out to my class of 2018. As we look back over last year, we are so grateful for everyone who connected through our organization in any number of ways. You may have completed projects during our community action days or learned about board service through our nonprofit board boot camps. Perhaps you committed to a day of volunteer service or tutored a struggling student one-on-one as a member of the RSVP Westchester. Maybe you found a family-friendly opportunity in our database or signed up on your own and made new friends. For this, we thank you for all these times and others when you got off the sidelines and took action with us. You are what makes us a strong and thriving organization, directly facing challenging times like today, always true to our mission to connect, serve, and grow. At Volunteer New York, we have 3 core beliefs that we hope you will see displayed throughout today's presentation. 1 is volunteering is transformational. 2, relationships do matter. And 3, everyone can serve. Thanks for being with us today. And remember, we are all connected.
Thanks, Valerie. Each of the 6 Volunteer Spirit Award winners you will now meet were selected from our community for standing out in a particular area of volunteerism and demonstrating a level of impact, compassion, and dedication to be considered of exceptional merit. If you have never been to a Volunteer Spirit Awards, let me paint a picture. There's excitement in the air when this huge crowd of people, many arriving well before 8 a.m., push into the ballroom to take their seats at tables set for breakfast, with our signature color orange all around. They come from every sector, from every rung on the business ladder, including CEOs and independent contractors, elected officials, faith-based leaders, and from so many nonprofit partners, family members, and friends of the honorees. But not everyone has the opportunity to be in the room with us. Young children, teens, and college students are missing. Many seniors, and quite frankly, people who don't like to wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning for breakfast, or can't be there because they can't be late to work. But not this year. At a time when large gatherings are not allowed, we can do this all together. You are part of something special. Feel the energy? It's within you. You know you can make a difference. I will now introduce the presenter of our first award, who happens to be a former board chair of Volunteer New York and founder of MAG Real Estate Advisors, Michael Grossman.
I'm Michael Grossman, and I'm honored to be speaking to you today. Over the years of my involvement with Volunteer New York, one of the highlights for me has been the annual Spirit Awards. In the past, I'd look out over a packed room of business and civic community members, volunteers, and proud families that attend the event to support the award recipients. The energy in the room was thrilling, and I will miss having the personal connection with all of you this year. But these are unique times, and the show must go on. Hector Rodriguez was born in Puerto Rico in the 1940s. His mother died during childbirth, and he was raised by his father and his grandmother until the age of 4, when the difficult decision was made to send Hector to New York. There he was adopted and raised by his aunt, and was blessed to have a family and community that helped him flourish. Hector went on to become a social worker, and when he reached retirement, he was drawn to become a volunteer at Rising Ground's Passage of Hope. This program offers assistance to unaccompanied migrant children until they can find homes with family members or other caring adults. In doing so, Hector completes a circle offering empathy and support to the children starting a new life in the U.S. as he once did. On behalf of MAG Real Estate Advisors, it's an honor to present the Social Advocacy Award to Hector Rodriguez. Congratulations, Hector.
Thank you, Meg Real Estate Advisors and Volunteer New York. I'm a social worker who retired 5 years ago with a desire to keep using my experience to support vulnerable families. Rising Ground has a program, Passage of Hope, that provides sanctuary to unaccompanied migrant children and teens who have crossed the United States border alone. They commit to harrowing journeys to escape crime, violence, and hunger, to seek safety in this country. Rising Ground provides them with shelter, food, medical care, classes, and counseling. The children stay at Rising Ground for only a short time while staff identify and vet responsible relatives or other adults to welcome them into their homes. One wonders why any parent makes the agonizing decision to send a 5-year-old or 6-year-old on such a treacherous passage. The answer may lie in these lines from a poem by Warson Shire. No one leaves home unless home is the mouth of a shark. Elsewhere, she writes, you only leave home when home won't let you stay. It has been deeply rewarding to volunteer in the class with these migrant children, whose resiliency inspires me each and every day. From where you sit now and in the future, I hope you will appreciate their journey toward safe haven.
Oh, Hector, I have to be honest. It's not easy to convey to you the spirit of the room you would feel as you finished accepting your award to a huge ovation. Instead, I'll simply repeat the line of poetry you just shared. No one leaves home unless home is a mouth of a shark. Please clap your hands virtually by leaving a message on social media using our hashtag Vsatogether for Hector, Rising Ground, and presenter MAG Real Estate Advisors. Our next volunteer is one who has committed a tremendous amount of her time to addressing climate change and protecting our environment, who cares enough to ensure we have a healthy planet for future generations. To learn more about our 2020 Going Green Award winner, let me introduce my friend Laura Rossi, Executive Director of the Westchester Community Foundation, who is here to present the award to an amazing Rockland County volunteer and former Nyack Hospital candy striper.
The Westchester Community Foundation enables people with philanthropic interests to easily and effectively support the causes they care about with lasting impact. We are proud of our role in supporting environmental causes in our region. Nature knows no boundaries, and so it is fitting that the next award is presented to a resident of an adjoining county. Rockland County has always been home and anchor to Gail Pisha, where she didn't just raise her family, she planted it. And the deeper those roots grew, the stronger Gail advocated for the future health of the planet. Today, Gail devotes between 30 and 50 hours a week to environmental commitments. She is a member of the executive committee of the Sierra Club Lower Hudson Valley Group and a delegate at the New York State level. This Rockland native has found her voice and spread her roots regionally. On behalf of the Westchester Community Foundation, I'm very pleased to present the Going Green Award to Gail Pisha.
Thanks to Westchester Community Foundation for this award, and to Volunteer New York for your good work to promote volunteerism. My volunteer work with Sierra Club to protect the environment has meant a lot to me. I've connected to some really amazing people, and I've been able to help keep climate change from getting worse. Climate change, it's scary for people to realize that it's happening, and it will get worse unless we as a society make some drastic lifestyle changes. But I want to urge you not to feel hopeless. There's plenty you can do as one person to make a difference. My advice probably applies to any volunteer effort. Start small. To protect the environment, take simple steps to reduce your carbon footprint. And as you become mindful of how your own actions impact the planet, you can join others to move our communities to renewable energy and to protect our air, water, and open spaces for future generations. This is something we can and must do together for our planet that we all share. At this very moment, our global connectivity is so clear. May there be positive consequences from that understanding, and may you be healthy and safe.
Congratulations, Gail. The Going Green Award is one of my favorite categories because volunteers like Gail demonstrate a relentless passion to change the world, coupled with high-impact expertise in a specific field. Please give some virtual applause for Gail Pisha and the Sierra Club and presenter Westchester Community Foundation. Now, Gail has a lot of experience, but we have seen that strong passion can help younger volunteers develop the skills to make a difference, skills they can continue to use and apply throughout their lives. Adults, here's the moment where you poke the kids and say, "Watch who's next." Please welcome my good friend and Volunteer New York Board co-chair, Joe Ali, from PKF O'Connor Davies, as he introduces the winner of the 2020 Youth Leadership Award.
PKF O'Connor Davies is deeply committed to community service and nonprofits. We always look forward to hearing from our honorees, and this year you can too. I'm proud to present the Youth Leadership Award, and as you can see from my family, we are bullish on young folks. Honestly, I'm not quite sure when Abe Baker Butler finds time to sleep. In addition to co-founding and serving as Executive Director of Students Against Nicotine, he is also the co-founder of the Westchester Student Coalition Against Gun Violence and the Vice President of the Westchester Youth Advisory Board. At NYU Langone University, Abe has conducted original neuroscience research. He plays the saxophone in the Blind Brook Jazz Ensemble, and there's so much more. He credits his family for his drive to give back. I know they are proud. On behalf of everyone at PKF O'Connor Davies, I present this year's Youth Leadership Award to Abe Baker Butler.
I'm so excited and honored to be recognized by PKF O'Connor Davies and Volunteer New York for the need I saw and the action I took to found Students Against Nicotine, a nonprofit working to combat the vaping epidemic through legislative advocacy and education. Volunteering has long been an important part of my life, from serving food at my local soup kitchen to assisting at my synagogue's religious school and even serving on the Westchester County Youth Board. For any kid watching this now, please know that you don't have to wait till any particular age to start making a difference through volunteer service. You can start doing it right now. When I started Students Against Nicotine, I had no idea what I was doing. I'd never taught an educational workshop before, never coordinated legislative advocacy, yet now I have done all of this and more. I got involved because I saw an unmet need that drove me to speak out, and I quickly saw that my volunteer efforts had impact. Volunteering and getting friends to join me was extremely fulfilling and meaningful. And despite many challenges, I stayed focused. I stayed the course, and over time I developed a nonprofit that has achieved meaningful legislative and educational progress that has gone a long way towards preventing e-cigarette use. Whatever your age and whatever your stage in life, I hope my experience with Students Against Nicotine may inspire you to take action in your own community. Thank you.
Let's take a moment to say, wow, Abe. Shout out on social media with our hashtag Vsatogether for Abe Baker Butler and Students Against Nicotine, and to PKF O'Connor Davies. They also support our Orange Book, the comprehensive guide to regional volunteering that would normally be at your seat. Now, we're betting that many future leaders are watching right now. We hope you will take action to address something that matters to you. Volunteer New York has a free youth volunteer app, And we're happy to come out to your school to make a presentation just as soon as social distancing guidelines allow. And we also have some programs in the works for intergenerational virtual volunteering. Information on all these resources for schools, families, and teens are on our website. Now, just a reminder, the instructions are on the screen if you would like to make a donation to Volunteer New York in honor of these wonderful honorees and our work at any time during the program. Thanks, we hope you will. Now, back to Volunteer New York's board chair, Valerie Mason-Cunningham.
Thanks, Elisa. Imagine we're back in the ballroom. This is the point in our program where we normally pause to allow everyone to take a look at the action cards that are on their seats. Instead, today, please join us in participating right now by going to our website, volunteernewyork.org/awards. Our past winners have told us that receiving their Volunteer Spirit Awards in front of a packed room of 600 is a once-in-a-lifetime, truly unforgettable moment. This year shouldn't be any less special. So what we're asking you to do right now is take your first action. Your first action to be to applaud our 2020 winners and give them the recognition they deserve by leaving a comment wherever you're watching. Show your support with messages of congratulations, you rock, thanks for your volunteer work, and use hashtag VSATogether. That's hashtag VSATogether.
Valerie, you know it has taken a virtual village to pull this off. Our board, staff, volunteers, and professionals with smart advice and tech expertise. We have all been committed to create this virtual event from scratch in a matter of days under ever-changing important restrictions to limit social distancing. Why? Why not say, sorry folks, it's just not possible this year? Well, that's not the Volunteer New York way. Today's honorees value the same things we value: community and volunteering. We couldn't pull the stage or audience out from under them. They inspire all of us. It's why we pause to honor and give them voice year after year. This isn't COVID-19's day. It's the day the 2020 Volunteer Spirit Award winners brought everyone closer together, breaking barriers and cutting through deep levels of social isolation. This is our chance to capture the spirit of an entire community, most of whom can't even leave their houses or their workplaces, to create this collective experience. Let's do this for our winners, and let's do this for us. Let's show that the power of volunteering to bring people together will always be more powerful than the things that divide us.
And if you appreciate Volunteer New York and what we do to inspire, motivate, and lead others to take action, then please also consider making a donation of any size to support our efforts on the front line of this pandemic now and in the months to come. Your donation couldn't come at a more critical time as we answer the calls from nonprofits and people who want to serve. Help us reach our goal to raise these critical funds.
All right, we have a few more Volunteer Spirit Awards and our legacy honorees coming up. To present the next award, it is my pleasure to welcome David Rattacco from PCSB Bank. David is also a member of our board, and he will present the Quality of Life Award. David?
On behalf of everyone at PCSB Bank, it is our pleasure to be with you today. Normally, Joseph Roberto, our chairman, president, and CEO, would have had this honor. Now his leadership must be focused on supporting our customers and employees at this critical time. We are proud of our deep history of giving back to support many nonprofits that we all count on to address local needs. If you build a habit early, it is likely to stick. That was true for young Anna Yee, whose father said, "Imagine if everyone did something to give back. What a wonderful place our world would be." A longtime resident of White Plains, Anna has made elevating her community a top priority. whether at Gilda's Club, where she was once personally supported, or at the White Plains Youth Bureau motivating kids. Anna rallies enthusiastic colleagues at Berkeley College who follow her lead in developing volunteer habits. PCSB is so proud to present the Quality of Life Award to Anna Lee.
Thank you to PCSB Bank and Volunteer New York. I am truly honored to receive this award. Volunteering was something that was expected when I was growing up, part of the fabric of our family. My parents taught us to give back, and it was a wonderful feeling, one that continued into my adult life. When I started working for Berkeley College over 30 years ago, we were encouraged to give back to our community, volunteering and supporting many local nonprofit organizations. After my own personal cancer scare, I became more active in Gilda's Club, finding it to be a place of strength and hope. Gilda Radner said the goal is to live a full, productive life, even with all the ambiguity. We are definitely living in uncertain times now, and volunteerism can make it a positive difference for others and ourselves. Small actions can be so powerful. A new toy at Christmas, a box of stuffing for a hungry family at Thanksgiving, offering companionship and small talk to a person waiting for a loved one into the hospital. Today, there are ways to volunteer, even from your home. I encourage you to take action. As a matter of fact, I challenge you. Leave a lasting positive touch for another person. Find a way to reach out, now more than ever. Thank you.
Send social media applause to Anna and Gilda's Club and to PCSB Bank using hashtag Vsatogether. Anna, I appreciate your challenge to find a way to make a difference. I'm actually talking to you now from within the original 1 mile designated circle that was the New Rochelle containment area. Within this circle and throughout the city, people have seriously accepted the challenge to stop the spread of the virus and support those most isolated and most vulnerable. And Westchester is also home to Regeneron, a company on the front line to combat COVID-19 using the tools they know best, science. We are all hoping for their success, and we're grateful for Regeneron's truly outstanding commitment to employee volunteer engagement. Here to present the next award is another friend and graduate of Leadership Westchester, Petula Stavropoulos, Director of Corporate Citizenship.
At Regeneron, we develop medicines that improve lives. Right now, we are contributing our science and technology to combat COVID-19. Beyond the important work we do in our labs, Regeneron colleagues engage deeply in our community year-round. Our Day for Doing Good is the largest single day of volunteering in this region. Today, it's not possible to safely bring everyone together, but it's important to take joy in the power of volunteers. Amy Tietz's passion for rolling up her sleeves started early marching and protesting with her parents. Years later, newly retired, Amy followed in her mom's footsteps again as a volunteer for the Friends of New Rochelle Public Library. Her leadership, intellect, and dedication were quickly recognized, and she has led the organization since 2017. Amy's band of volunteers raised their hands, their voices, vital donations, and so many boxes of donated books. Regeneron is proud to present the Education and Literacy Award to Amy Tietz.
Thank you, Regeneron and Volunteer New York. I accept this award on behalf of the Friends of the New Rochelle Public Library. We are a dedicated group of hardworking volunteers who sort and schlep thousands of books donated each year. Many of the Friends are retired teachers. Although I am not a teacher, I share their values with reading and learning. Libraries are crucial to the communities they serve. They provide access to information that fuels ideas and challenges the imagination. I love working with people on a common goal. The best award I receive is a smile of a patron who's discovered a wonderful selection to take home to read, or a feeling of success after we've searched through thousands of books in our storage to find a specific request. I'm eager to get back to the library and the community so we can continue donating hundreds of books to schools, soup kitchens, hospitals, and nursing homes. It is wonderful to send books out into the world to be read and treasured. One of my younger patrons asked me if I could guess his superpower. I was stumped. His answer was reading. I think my superpower is volunteering. It may be virtual for a while, but volunteering makes a difference and it matters.
Amy, I am so with you. Libraries change lives, and volunteers expand their capacity. Shout out loudly to Amy Teets and the Friends of the New Rochelle Public Library, and thank you, Regeneron.
Elisa, I hope you don't mind if I jump in here. I'm New Rochelle Mayor Noam Bramson, and it's a true pleasure to join in honoring such outstanding volunteers, including our own Amy Teets, who has earned the gratitude of everyone in New Rochelle for her years of exemplary service to our library and all its patrons. As you mentioned, New Rochelle is meeting an unprecedented public health challenge with strength and resilience, and our partnership with Volunteer New York is a vital part of that response. Together, we're evaluating local service needs and capacity, fostering better communication among partners, and giving all of us the tools and options to make a positive difference for our neighbors. Thank you to everyone for creating this virtual event. And congratulations also to my friends Allie and Tom Gallen and their son Jake. No family is more deserving of the Legacy Award. Stay healthy and stay safe.
So many of us are proud of Mayor Bramson. He's a graduate of Leadership Westchester, and I'm glad he was able to join us. We really had hoped to bat 1,000 today and have every presenter and honoree team join us virtually. Unfortunately, that is not the case for this next award. We are so grateful to our friends at WMC Health for their support of the 2020 Volunteer Spirit Awards. They are unable to join us as they remain focused on responding to the COVID-19. We are so grateful to everyone at WMC Health, and for that matter, all of the healthcare institutions around the world who are on the front lines of this global crisis. Be strong and be safe. For the past 12 years, Duke Searles has been a busy member of RSVP Westchester, which is the National Seniors Corps program hosted by Volunteer New York, to engage people 55 years and older. Well, Duke sets a pace of service in the hours that exceed thousands of hours. His dedication comes from his own journey. Duke knows the pain of hunger. A veteran of the Vietnam War, he went through many dark days after the war before putting his life back on track. Duke credits his incredible support system for his transformation. Today, Duke is helping fellow veterans and their families as the volunteer director of the Montrose VA Food Pantry. The Transformational Award is meant to honor life and journey. Duke's is an inspirational reminder that volunteering can help anyone find solid footing or start over or find a path back to society. If you're feeling lost, broken, or out of place. While Duke is unable to join us today virtually, his generosity of spirit has made a difference in the lives of so many veterans. It's an honor to present the Transformation Award to Duke Searles.
We all join to applaud Duke Searles and the Montrose VA Food Pantry and WMC Health. The particular pairing of a frontline healthcare provider with a frontline food resources volunteer wasn't planned to be of such significance at this point in time. The 6 Volunteer Spirit Award honorees you met today, as closely as we could all huddle together virtually, are remarkable examples of what you now know to be true, if you ever had any doubt. Everyone can serve. Volunteering is transformational. Relationships do matter.
The last award we present today, as we always do at the Volunteer Spirit Awards, is given by the Board of Directors of Volunteer New York. If there was ever the right moment to present this particular award, the time is right now. Please watch the Legacy Award video to learn a little bit more about why we are honoring the Gallon family, an amazing trio who have done so much to elevate Volunteer New York and the spirit of volunteerism in our community and far, far beyond. Please meet the amazing Allie, the inspirational Tom, and their incredible son, Jake.
When we think about legacy, we're thinking about someone who has made a difference, and that difference has lasting impact. By giving the award to a family, and in particular the Gallon family, you see the legacy unfolding right in front of you.
There's one unifying factor: we can all serve.
Volunteering for us, it's a family activity.
There are a lot of opportunities to do anything. You just have to notice them when they happen.
The story is on a snow day, him and Allie are home watching TV, and on the Oprah show, they were talking about how military families don't get the recognition they need. Gold Star mother comes on. Her son Michael was the first child in Westchester County to die during the Iraq conflict.
I was like, oh my God, that's a college student. I felt just I had to do something.
He writes a letter to the church and to his school saying, we found out today that 1% guard 99% of us, and we should find out how we can help the families. The church pulled it into the weekly bulletin, the entire letter. A few days later, Jake gets 3-4 pieces of mail. One letter says, I want to meet you. It was Teresa Arciola. She was the mother on the Oprah show that inspired Jake to do this.
I visited Jake and them. They were just interested in knowing and remembering and honoring somebody who is now gone.
She made time to meet with this little boy. She took in what he was trying to do for her.
With that encouragement, Jake designed a car magnet that's shaped of a star. It says, we support Blue Star and Gold Star military families. And we started selling the stars at the local soccer games. We ended up giving all the money to the USO, Metropolitan New York.
Through the years, the Gallon family has helped our organization to raise more than $80,000. To see a young man like this step up and give so much of his time developing programs and initiatives to really help raise awareness for our military and their families is unbelievable.
He created a 3-holiday announcement that said in schools that, in essence, say we want to thank our Blue Star and Gold Star military families.
There's this announcement that they could bring to their schools on Veterans Day, 9/11, and Memorial Day.
The 3 holidays announcement started in one school in New Rochelle, and now it's heard by more than 1 million students.
We see that their successes are being recognized, and we are just thrilled that Volunteer New York has selected the Gallon family for their accomplishments.
We first met the Gallons when Jake was honored with our Youth Leader Award. That was the beginning of what has been a constant connection to Volunteer New York.
They're just wonderful people. They helped propel Jake from the get-go and continue to help spread his message.
Another part of the initiative was the Century Ride. Tom and Jake and 2 other volunteers rode their bikes from New Rochelle to West Point. Jake stood before pictures of many fallen soldiers, but one of them was his hero, Michael.
Michael's gone, but for now, he's still alive in so many people's minds, and there's a lot of people that are out there to help you.
While you hear of Blue Star families in your neighborhood, make them part of your community, because that's the essence of volunteerism. Make people a part of your community. That's pretty simple.
Thank you to the Board of Directors for recognizing my family's volunteer spirit with this Legacy Award. Thank you to all of the VNY staff who work with such dedication to help individuals, families, businesses, and communities thrive when they connect, serve, and grow. Thank you to Mayor Noam Bramson, who led my family to our new family at VNY when I was 8. I'm grateful to Brian Whiting and to the USO of Metropolitan New York for all of the work that they do to uplift military families. Lisa Keston, we're friends for life. And thank you to my parents. Thank you for being so optimistic that you took a chance on me. I was born in Kazakhstan, in the remote village of Karakaste. Adopted at 10 months by this loving family, I was afforded an otherwise unimaginable life. I am keenly aware of the fact that I not only received a second chance, but a golden ticket. This knowledge fills me with a deep sense of gratitude and inspires me to take advantage of all of the possibilities that my family, school, community, and country have to offer. I'm aware of my difficult early first months, the loss of both my birth mother and my twin at birth, my own complicated medical history, and I draw from this resilience daily. As much as I know I'm 100% down, I'm also 100% a part of the VNY family. I've been raised and shaped by this organization by attending the days of service and these very awards year after year. Because of VNY, I was nominated for the Prudential Spirit of Community Awards, an experience that was special to me for 2 reasons. I represented my state, and even more importantly, during my trip to DC, I had the opportunity to finally visit Arlington National Cemetery. My inspiration, Michael Arciola, is buried there in Section 60. There, I attended a wreath-laying ceremony at the tomb of the unknown soldier, and I stood before the eternal flame. Something forever shifted within me under those cherry blossoms at Arlington. As I walked through row after row of dead soldiers who were once fathers, mothers, sisters, and brothers, I came to know this. Those who serve our nation are willing to give a sacrifice that is permanent. And that is exactly what the legacy of our nation is. Our legacy is that of sacrifice, permanence, and honor. That is what any visitor to Arlington National Cemetery can see. In the thousands upon thousands of letters that I have sent to school and government officials, this is exactly what I tell them. Had I not watched Mrs. Arciola bravely share her story about losing her son Michael in Iraq at age 20, I would not have stood before you in 2012 or again in 2020. My parents wouldn't have turned the dining room into a mailroom. I wouldn't have dragged my dad along on a 100-mile bike ride to West Point. We wouldn't have walked in all of those USL walkathons, and we wouldn't have sold star decals with our friends. We wouldn't have spent the day with military families playing baseball, and we would not have made friends with the New York Yankees. We are grateful to the Arciola family for sparking the volunteer spirit of our own family. In thinking about this Legacy Award, I can only think of the Arciola's legacy. It's not just one of loss and sadness. The legacy that I want you to remember is that Michael was a child of this country, of his school, and of his family, and that he died to protect all of us. The legacy of the Arciolas, like all military families, is that they were generous enough to let their loved one go and do this for all of us. I hope your family will find an inspiration that sparks your volunteer spirit. Thank you.
Jake, Allie, and Tom, you know from experience that there are many points in our program when the entire audience would stand, and now is that time. The footprints of the Gallons are already deep, and they're just getting started. Like all the honorees you met today, they are taking action now to address incredibly important challenges that will have lasting impact. There is a little bit of legacy in every act of volunteering, in every act of kindness, in every decision to say yes, I will find a way to make a difference. Those bits of legacy have motivated me for the past decade that I have been extraordinarily privileged to serve as Executive Director of Volunteer New York. And so many of you know that I'm passing on that privilege at the end of June. Jeanette Gisbert is an amazing leader whose expertise, passion, and experience will come at just the right moment. As much as I would have loved for today to be a day when we could all be together, close enough to pass the muffins, I'm thankful that in my final months at Volunteer New York, I've seen how strongly my team faces off against unprecedented challenges. It is an honor to work creatively with them, to rise to the occasion and break new ground while doing so. This will be a Volunteer Spirit Awards event we will never forget. It may not be something we ever try again, but it still brought out something beautiful in us, in the way we connected, in reminding us all the ways we are not alone, in showing us how special volunteerism can be to bring people and ideas together as part of a resilient community. As many of you also know, we have one more celebration planned, a 70th anniversary gala, where we will toast our past and, I suspect, where you might see some embarrassing outtakes of me along the way. We're rescheduling that event for this fall, so stay tuned for the details. To everyone who makes the Volunteer New York world go around, and to all of you watching from all around, a huge thank you. Remember to channel the inspiration from today to take action. Remember to keep healthcare providers in our hearts and prayers. Use hashtag Vsatogether and tell others to watch the recording of this event on our website so they can experience it for themselves. Be safe, be healthy, be with us next year for the 41st Annual Volunteer Spirit Awards, Friday morning, April 9th, 2021 at the Westchester Marriott. The future is bright. And that's a wrap.